morning, everyone. I'm Nicola Deleonardis, a research fellow at the Dipartimento of Taranto, University of Bari, Aldo, Moro. I'm delighted to discuss a crucial issue regarding the role of trade unions in the economic recovery and participation in occupational transitions. Given the changes brought about by the pandemic, the current economic climate has forced us to rethink the relationship between labor, recovery, and transformations, making the role of trade unions more important than ever. This is a topic that deserves thorough consideration, especially in the context of sustainable development and economic recovery in post-pandemic times. In the broader context of national economic recovery, trade unions have a fundamental role in facilitating the transition from sectors that are in decline to those that are growing, or at very last, those that should be growing. The transition is particularly crucial after the pandemic, as many sectors faced severe challenges and workers experienced job losses and reduced job security. The role of the trade unions, therefore, is not just about protecting the status quo, but actively fostering a transition to new, more sustainable forms of employment, ensuring that workers are not left behind in this process. This role is, however, complex. On one hand, trade unions have always been champions on defending workers' rights within existing employment relationships, fighting for better conditions, wages, and security in workplace. But in the current environment, we also see that many of the industries that were once considered stable are no longer so, and many workers are facing increased instability and insecurity. It's important for unions to extend their focus beyond just protecting workers in their current employment relationships to also addressing the instability that permeates the labor market. Economic recovery cannot be achieved simply by hoping for the return of good jobs. Instead, it requires workers to be supported in navigating transitions to new sectors, roles, and opportunities. Trade unions must therefore be active participants in shaping policies that facilitate the redeployment and reskilling of workers. Trade union participation in managing occupational transitions is essential for several reasons. First, trade unions play a crucial role in preventing workers from falling into the informal or undeclared labor markets. As the world of work is shifting rapidly, it's vital to ensure that workers who lost their jobs in declining sectors are not absorbed by precarious, unregulated forms of employment, which offer little protection or security. By being involved in transitions, trade unions can ensure that workers have access to employment in decent conditions and are not just pushed into low-wage or exploitative work environments. Secondly, trade unions can help maintain workers' professional skills during their transitions. Often, workers in declining industries have skills that may not immediately match the requirement of emerging sectors, which makes them vulnerable to unemployment. The union's role in facilitating reskilling and training programs is vital to ensuring that workers are able to transition smoothly into new industries and roles. This role is not new for trade unions. Over the years, the focus has been on the protection of workers' rights within their existing employment contracts. However, as the labor market evolves, trade unions must adapt their strategies and take an active part in shaping the policies and measures that govern these transitions from a purely protective role to one that includes proactive labor market participations. One example of the way trade unions have begun to expand their role is through collective agreements and initiatives like the 2006 CGL, Cheese and Will platform against undeclared work, as well as 2016 proposals for labor policies signed by Confindustria, CGL, Cheese and Will. These initiatives suggest mechanisms for occupational transitions and advocate for policies that can help workers move smoothly from one sector to other while avoiding being pushed into the informal labor market. A key tool in this transition process is the Occupational Transition Agreement outlined in Article 22 ter of Legislative Decree number 148 of 2015. This agreement is particularly relevant for companies in crisis, where the aim is to extend the ordinary period for extraordinary unemployment benefits for an additional 12 months. However, this extension is conditional on the company signing an agreement with the most representative trade unions that outlines active labor policies. These policies may include retraining, reskilling, and reemployment measures aimed at supporting workers who are laid off due to the company's economic difficulties. The goal of this agreement is twofold. It prevents layoffs without support and ensures that when layoffs do occur, workers are not left in a vulnerable situation. Through the agreement, the trade unions help shape and manage the process of reemployment, ensuring that workers are not discarded, but instead provided with the tools that they need to transition to other form of employment, thereby protecting their dignity and career prospects. The Occupational Transition Agreement is unique in that it provides not just a financial safety net, but also a proactive framework for managing labor market changes. It allows that company to address its personnel surpluses before layoffs occur, while offering workers a measure of security through retraining programs. It also promotes a dialogue between workers and employers through the trade union, which are directly involved in the planning and execution of these transitions. An interesting case of an occupational transition agreement is the one involving Cementi Testi SRL, a company in crisis. This agreement is part of a broader program under the Decreto Genova Decree, Article 44, Legislative Decree number 109 of 2018, which governs companies in crisis that cease their productive activities but have the potential for integration through the sale of the business. The agreement includes active labor policies such as training and skill building measures, and it integrates into a wider network of regional initiatives aimed at promoting employment in Tuscany. This network of companies, many of which have committed to hiring surplus workers, is bolstered by regional incentives for businesses that participate. The agreements also show the importance of collaboration between companies and trade unions. The agreement between Testi and the region of Tuscany, for example, requires that businesses notify the trade unions about their intentions to hire workers from the transition process before finalizing any agreements. This proactive involvement ensures that the process is transparent and that workers' rights are safeguarded. While the occupational transition agreement is an important tool, it is not without its shortcomings. The key area that requires improvement is the economic incentives linked to these agreements. Unfortunately, the legislators not renewed the financial incentives that previously encouraged employers to use that instruments. The lack of financial support makes it more likely that employers will choose to pursue collective layoffs rather than use these participatory mechanisms, which could benefit workers in the long run. Without these incentives, the tool risks being underutilized and may fail to achieve its full potential in protecting workers during transitions. In conclusion, the role of trade unions in managing occupational transitions is crucial for ensuring a fair and just economic recovery. The Occupational Transition Agreement is a powerful tool in this process, but it needs further legislative support, particularly in terms of economic incentives, to be fully effective. By strengthening the trade unions' involvement in the management of labor market transition, we can help protect workers' rights, ensure job security, and contribute to a more equitable and sustainable economic future. Thanks for the attention.